Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Mata, you are mute.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't see that. I'll start again. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda.
Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta
Jaya
Vrinda.
Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda.
Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta
Sri
Vrinda.
Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai.
Jai,
Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai.
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai,
Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
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 Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. So we are reading from the Antya Khanda of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 5, the glories of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So we saw how Nityananda Prabhu was in Jagannath Puri in ecstasy, uh, always singing the glories of the Lord, wandering here and there. So once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Nityananda Prabhu in private and said that, this is my mission, that even the most wretched person should be drowned in Krishna consciousness. I took this vow, and you're happily sitting here in Jagannath Puri. You have to become more active, right? You have to go and preach. You are the giver of devotional service. So the Lord ordered Nityananda Prabhu to go to Bengal. So Nityananda Prabhu, along with his associates, who are his associates, Nityananda Prabhu is Lord Balaram in Golok Vrindavan Dham. So his associates are the 12 Gopals. So who also appeared or descended with Lord Balaram as when in Chaitanya Lila. So, taking all his associates with him, Nityananda Prabhu started off to go to Bengal, and they were always in ecstasy, all of them. So, we saw that uh, how they would just go in the wrong direction, completely not being in external consciousness, and again, somehow or other, going miles away in the wrong direction and then laughing and coming back like that. And just they would be standing for hours, 9 hours, just in the Trivanga pose with you know in the mood of a cowherd boy like this. Finally, somehow or other, they arrived in Panihatigram. Then there we saw Nityananda Prabhu came to Raghav Pandit's home, and in Raghav Pandit's home, Nityananda Prabhu desired to perform kirtan, and then there was an ecstatic kirtan, and wherever he looked, everyone was also going wild in ecstasy. They were not in external consciousness, and everyone was singing and dancing. And then Nityananda Prabhu fainted. Then he got up and he roared like this. Then Nityananda Prabhu got on the altar and he said, "Perform my Abhishek." They performed Abhishek, and with thousands of pots of Ganga water mixed with fragrant uh, ingredients. And then new clothes were offered, tulsi garlands were put on, and then Aarti was performed, and everyone was going completely mad in ecstasy. Then we also saw how Nityananda Prabhu asked for a garland of Kadamba flowers, and Raghav Pandit said, "My lord, this is not the season for Kadamba flowers, and besides, they were not in Vrindavan, they were in Panihati, West Bengal." But Nityananda Prabhu said, "Go look in the garden, maybe you'll find some." So he went, Raghav Pandit, and to his amazement, he saw in his backyard on a lime tree were so many Kadamba flowers. He immediately picked them, made a garland, and offered it to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. With great happiness, he put it on, and everyone was amazed. They were floating in ecstasy. Anyone who simply smelled the fragrance of those flowers became free from the bondage of birth and death. Then all of a sudden they smelled another wonder took place. They smelled Damanaka flowers. And it just filled the whole house. The whole area was filled with the fragrance of Damanaka flowers. Now Damanaka flowers grow only in Jagannath Puri, and this was Panihati in West Bengal. From where was this fragrance coming? And Nityananda Prabhu asked, "What is this fragrance?" And everyone said, "This is the fragrance of Damanaka flowers." And then everyone was wondering, where is it coming from? And Nityananda Prabhu revealed the secret that actually Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being pleased with the kirtan. So when that Abhishek happened, after everyone, during Aarti, there was such a kirtan. Everyone was going wild in that kirtan. Children and even grown-up people, they were devotees, uprooting trees and like that, going on the tips of the branches and dancing, still not falling, like that. So Nityananda Prabhu said, seeing your ecstatic kirtan, Mahaprabhu became so pleased and he came from Jagannath Puri. Uh, Also, at that time, Nityananda Prabhu had instructed them to always chant the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by that, they all went into ecstasy, right? By receiving that instruction, they went into ecstasy. They started roaring and they started performing kirtan. Then, in this way, Nityananda Prabhu spent 3 months in Panihatigram. And when he was performing kirtan, children, adults, everyone, they didn't do anything except performing kirtan. They were not in external consciousness. Day and night they were doing kirtan for 3 continuous months. No eating, sleeping, drinking. The parents of the children would say, come home, and they wouldn't want to go back, like that. Another time, Nityananda Prabhu desired to wear ornaments, nice jewelry. He just desired, and immediately all the devotees started bringing so many nice ornaments and silks and jewelry. So Nityananda Prabhu dressed himself nicely, and he started to visit the homes of different devotees in Panihati. So then we were also reading about the yeah, the ecstasies of the children as they were doing the kirtan. So that means Nityananda Prabhu was so sweet. His personality as a person and his holy name, they were so sweet and charming. And he was always looking at everyone, placing his merciful glances on everyone. And he himself was always in ecstasy at every moment, regardless of what he was doing. He would always do Sankirtan constantly, whether eating, sleeping, walking, anytime. He's doing constant Sankirtan. And when he danced in Sankirtan, many people would go wild in ecstasy. And so, as I was saying, small children who did not know anything uprooted big trees, loudly roaring, they uprooted trees and threw them about, shouting, I'm a cowherd boy. They ran here and there. So great was the power in those small children that even 100 men could not catch them and hold them still. They couldn't hold them still. 100 men could not hold one child in one place. Chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, the children joyfully roared like lions. This is very interesting. So they were literally roaring like lions. Small children, like 3 years old, 5 years old, very small children. They were roaring like lions, and they were wild in Kirtan. Nobody could hold them still. This is the power of Lord Nityananda Prabhu's mercy and his ecstasy. Overcome with ecstasy, Lord Nityananda, who was naturally like a child, joined the children. For 1 month, those children had not eaten anything. Therefore, when the people saw all this, they felt great wonder in their hearts. All the devotees became wild with ecstasy. Lord Nityananda became the protector of them all. Thinking they were his sons, Lord Nityananda embraced everyone. He fed them with his own hand. Hmm. Yeah. He fed them with his own hand. He kept them by his side. He tied them up, hit them, and loudly laughed. One day, to please him, Lord Nityananda went to Gadadhar Das's home. Thinking himself a gopi, Gadadhar Das, this is not Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit from Panchatattva is different. This is Gadadhar Das, who is one of the associates of Lord Balaram Nityananda Prabhu. We read about Gadadhar Das in Adi Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He has both rasas. He's both the in the mood he's in the mood of a cowherd boy as an associate of Lord Balaram. He's also in the mood of a gopi as an associate of like a gopi. That means in conjugal mellow as well as in sakhya bhav or yeah sakyaras. So Nityananda Prabhu went to Gadadhar Das's home one day, thinking himself a gopi. Gadadhar Das was filled with bliss. Placing a pot of Ganga water on his head, again and again he called out, who will buy cow's milk? In the temple at his home was a very handsome deity of Lord Krishna as Sri Balagopal. Seeing this charming deity of Balagopal with great joy and love, Lord Nityananda embraced the deity to his chest. Okay. So Nityananda Prabhu is now traveling. Traveling, of course, he's traveling in Bengal. Now he is in Panihati. And from Raghav Pandit's home, Nityananda Prabhu decided to go and visit different devotees' homes. So he came to Gadadhar Das's home. So what is the mood of Gadadhar Das? He's in the mood of a gopi. So he would just carry a pot on his head out of ecstasy. Who would like to buy milk? Who would like to buy milk? Like that. He would be in ecstasy. And near this Gadadhar Das's home was a deity of a very handsome deity of Lord Krishna in the form of Balagopal. So Nityananda Prabhu, when he came to Gadadhar Das's home, he saw this deity and he went and embraced this deity. Hmm. Yeah, at his home, not near his home, at his home. So, like in your home, you have a puja room, right? So he had the temple in his home, and Gadadhar Das's deity was Sri Balagopal. Seeing this charming deity of Balagopal, with great joy and love, Lord Nityananda embraced the deity to his chest. With a heart filled with endless love, Lord Nityananda gazed at Lord Balagopal as the devotees joyfully chanted the names of Lord Hari. Roaring, Lord Nityananda, the king of wrestlers, danced. In this way, he enjoyed pastimes with Lord Balagopal. Then Madhav Ghosh sang about, so remember the three brothers, Vasudev Ghosh, Govinda Ghosh, Madhav Ghosh, the three brothers who were great singers. They had come to Panihati also. They came, and they, when Nityananda Prabhu desired to dance, they all had come, and there was a great kirtan party. They were singing and Nityananda Prabhu was dancing. So Madhav Ghosh sang about Lord Krishna's Danakeli. Danakeli means, so you must have seen in Little Krishna, Krishna collecting taxes from the gopis. What is the tax? They have to give yogurt, milk, butter as a tax. So, Danakeli pastime. So, about this Danakeli pastime, Madhav Ghosh was singing about Lord Krishna's Danakeli, pastimes of pretending to be a toll collector. Hearing this, Lord Nityananda, the lion of Avadhutas, was very pleased. Listening to fortunate Madhav Ghosh's voice, Lord Nityananda, the jewel of Avadhutas, was overcome with ecstatic love. In this way, with great joy and love, Lord Nityananda enjoyed pastimes with saintly Gadadhar Das. So, what all happened in saintly Gadadhar Das's home? He had a deity of Balagopal, and he himself would always be in the mood of a gopi, carrying just a pot of Ganga water on his head. He would be in the mood of gopi. He would go around asking, "Who wants to buy milk? Who wants to buy milk?" like that. And when Nityananda Prabhu came to his house, he saw the deity Balagopal, and he was so charmed. He picked the deity up and embraced him to his chest, and uh, he felt great love. And all the devotees, they started roaring in kirtan, chanting in kirtan. And then what else happened? Gadadhar Das's home. Madhav Ghosh. Madhav Ghosh. So he started to sing. He started to sing uh, the Danageli pastime of Lord Krishna. And Nityananda Prabhu was very pleased with that. Yeah. And Nityananda Prabhu was dancing with Balagopal. Then Madhav Ghosh started singing, and Nityananda Prabhu was very pleased to hear the voice of Madhav Ghosh. Listening to fortunate Madhav Ghosh's voice, Nityananda, Lord Nityananda, the jewel of Avadhutas, was overcome with ecstatic love. In this way, with great joy and love, Lord Nityananda enjoyed pastimes with saintly Gadadhar Das, always thinking of himself as a gopi. Gadadhar was never in external consciousness. Yeah, he was never in external consciousness. Although he was in this world, he was not of this world. He was not conscious of this world. He was always in the in his original, you know, position as a gopi. He was not in external consciousness even for a moment. Always thinking of himself as a gopi, Gadadhar was never in external consciousness. Hearing the song about Lord Krishna's Danakeli pastime, Lord Nityananda danced. No one has the power to properly describe his dancing. He manifested all the symptoms of ecstatic love. His dancing had no peer. He manifested all the symptoms of ecstatic love. His dancing had no peer. Nobody could compete or imitate Nityananda Prabhu's dancing. His graceful motions were like lightning. How glorious were the wonderful movements of his arms. How wonderful were the graceful movements of his eyes. How beautiful was his smile. How wonderful were the playful and graceful movements of his head. He placed his feet together and then he gracefully jumped. Wherever, tasting the nectar of ecstatic love, he glanced, there the men and women floated in the nectar of love for Lord Krishna. Whoever received Lord Nityananda's merciful glance became filled with bliss. No longer did he remember his own body. By Lord Nityananda's mercy, everyone attained the pure devotional service the sages and the kings of yogis yearned to find. Simply by receiving Nityananda Prabhu's glance, people got the highest possible uh, result of any practice, right? Great yogis, kings of yogis, right? Those who achieve perfection in yogi, what they could not get or what they aspire to get, everyone received simply when Lord Nityananda Prabhu's glance fell on them. What did they receive? They got love of Krishna, the highest. When he does not eat for 3 days, a man strong like an elephant becomes thin and has no power even to walk. Ordinarily, yes, if one does not eat for 3 days, even he may be a very strong man like a lion, I'm sorry, like an elephant, he becomes thin and has no power even to walk. The small children there had not eaten for a month, but still they acted as if they were lions Nityananda's power. Still, bewildered by Lord Chaitanya's Maya, no one could understand the truth. This was going on, but nobody realized. Nobody realized because they were all part of that. Thus, tasting the nectar of ecstatic love, for some days, Lord Nityananda stayed at Gadadhar Das's home. So, earlier the Lord was in Raghav Pandit's home. Now, for some days, Nityananda Prabhu stayed in Gadadhar Das's home. So, all these pastimes, children dancing, it happened there also. In Raghav Pandit's home also, we read about that. Now, in Gadadhar Das's home also, we are reading. Here we see for 1 month, the children were dancing and they were roaring like lions. That's the highlight here. Children roaring like lions. And without eating, sleeping, nothing. So that's a wonder. So Mahanityananda Prabhu stayed like this for 1 month in Gadadhar Das's home. External consciousness was not present in Gadadhar Das's body. Again and again he made everyone chant Hari Bol. In this village lived a ferocious Qazi. So we are reading about the glories of Gadadhar Das. So the village where he lived, there was a ferocious Qazi who had limitless hatred for Sankirtan. Wild with bliss, saintly Gadadhar Das, because he wouldn't be in external consciousness. So he would just go to this Qazi's home. So one night, Gadadhar Das went to Qazi's home, the Qazi, afraid of the Qazi, everyone else would always run away from him. But that night, Gadadhar Das fearlessly went to the Qazi's home. Again and again chanting the holy names of Lord Hari, Gadadhar Das entered the Qazi's home. Seeing him, the Qazi's men sat down. No word came to anyone's mouth. First of all, it was such a shock, right? Because he was not an external consciousness. The other people could also see that, right? There's no fear in him, and he just walked in, and he was constantly chanting Krishna's names. So normally nobody would even dare come in front of Qazi because he was ferocious, Muslim king. They would just run away, not king, Qazi, magistrate. So they would just run away seeing him. And especially he hated Sankirtan. So you can imagine, right? They would never chant in front of him probably out of fear of punishment. Here was Gadadhar Das in the night, middle of night. He walks into Kazi's home chanting loudly. So all the guards, they just sat down looking at him. Hmm. Yeah. Has entered Kazi's home. Seeing him, the Kazi's men sat down. No word came to anyone's mouth. Right? They were dumbfounded. What's going on? They were like shocked. Gadadhar Das said, "Aha! Where is that fellow, that Kazi? This moment, say Krishna. If you do not, I will cut off your head." So Gadadhar Das actually went in a mood. He was angry. You won't chant Krishna's name, right? So where is he? Where is that Kazi? He's stopping all the Sankirtan movement. He's persecuting devotees for chanting. Where is he? If you don't chant Krishna's name, immediately I'm going to cut off your head. So, uh, aha, where is that fellow, that Kazi? This moment, say Krishna. If you don't, I will cut off your head. Angry like fire, the Kazi came out, right? What's this commotion? What's going on? Right? Somebody from outside is saying, if he does not chant Krishna's name, I'll cut off his head. So the Kazi comes outside. He came out angry like fire. But seeing Gadadhar's anger, he became peaceful. He came out angrily, right? In his typical, normal, usual, fierce way. And when he came out, he saw Gadadhar Das angry. Chant the names of Krishna. And he became peaceful. Seeing Gadadhar Das, he couldn't stay angry anymore. So then the Kazi said, Gadadhar, why have you come? That too in the night. Gadadhar replied, I will tell you something. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are the Supreme Personality of Godhead descended to this earth. They make every mouth in this world speak the words Hari Hari. You are the only person who does not chant the holy names of Lord Hari. Therefore, I have come here to convince you to chant. Please chant the supremely auspicious holy name of Lord Hari. I will deliver you from all your sins. Right? You just chant the names of Lord Hari. He's coming like a guru, literally. Right? You please chant, and I will deliver you from all your sins. Although he was a very violent man, the Kazi said nothing. He didn't say anything. He was stunned by what he heard and what he was seeing. He didn't say anything. Smiling, the Kazi said, Listen, Gadadhar Das, tomorrow I will chant Hari. For now, please go home. I don't know what the Kazi was thinking, but I'm just in normal dealings, if you saw a crazy person outside, right? Uh, he will say so many things. So you wouldn't deal with such a person like a like you would deal with someone who's in his normal senses, right? Because he cannot understand what's going on. So you just try to pacify him somehow or other and send him away. So maybe that's what the Kazi was thinking. Because he was not in, like normally how the Kazi would see the devotees or Hindus, right, out of fear running away. He came here in the middle of the night and he's saying, I came to tell you something. Sri Chaitanya, of course, he was completely serious, right? We understand. I'm just thinking from the Kazi's perspective, what was going on in his mind. Of course, he's extremely fortunate he got the mercy. I mean, he got the mercy of a Vaishnava. His life has changed now permanently. And how one gets the mercy of a Vaishnava? There is no cause for that. The cause is the Vaishnava's mercy. That's all. His free will. The Vaishnava's free will is the cause of somebody's receiving mercy. There's no other cause. You don't have any qualification to receive the mercy. Not that you have to have this qualification, that qualification. As a result of that, now you'll get mercy. No, not that Krishna is dictating to the Vaishnava, go and give mercy. No, rather, when a Vaishnava decides to give mercy to someone, Krishna's mercy follows. Krishna is a servant of his devotee. What kind of devotee? Of course, right? A pure devotee. So, to such a madhyam, at least madhyam adhikari devotee, then Krishna is, his mercy follows Vaishnava's mercy. So here Gadadhar Das, everyone hated the Kazi, right? They were fearful of the Kazi. And he goes and he starts instructing the Kazi that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord, I came to tell you something. Very seriously, I came to tell you something. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They have come to make every mouth chant the names of Hari. In the entire creation, you are the only person who refuses to chant. Why? You chant and you'll be delivered of all your sins. Never mind what you have done so far. Just chant the names of the Lord. And in such earnestness, Gadadhar Pandit is telling, and the Qazi is like, he's like, um, he normally he would get angry if anybody chanted the names of the Supreme Lord. Here, not only was he chanting, he's telling the Qazi, ordering the Qazi to also chant. But he didn't become angry like the usual way. He just smiled. He said, all right, I'll chant Hari tomorrow. Now you go home. Tomorrow I'll chant. You go home now. Like that. So then, smiling, the Qazi said, listen, Gadadhar, Das, tomorrow I will chant Hari. For now, you please go home. So what did he say? He said Hari, right? Tomorrow I will chant Hari. Hearing the holy name of Lord Hari come from the Qazi's mouth, Gadadhar Das became filled with joy and bliss. And he said, Gadadhar Das said, why wait for tomorrow? At this moment, the word Hari has appeared on your mouth. You're saying you'll chant tomorrow? You have already chanted. You are delivered. Right? Why tomorrow? At this very moment, the word Hari has appeared on your mouth. Now that you have spoken the word Hari, your sins no longer exist. Finished. Right? Once you chanted Hari, all your sins are finished. Speaking these words, Gadadhar Das clapped his hands and wildly danced again and again. After some time, he returned to his home. Lord Nityananda's home was in Gadadhar's body. So this is Gadadhar Das, in whose house Nityananda Prabhu stayed. And Nityananda Prabhu, where is Nityananda Prabhu's home? This is Gadadhar Das's home. Where is Nityananda Prabhu's home? Gadadhar Das's body. Nityananda Prabhu always stayed, his house was Gadadhar Das's body. That's why Gadadhar Das is in ecstasy all the time, not in external consciousness, because Nityananda Prabhu is inside him all the time. So, Lord Nityananda Prabhu's home is Gadadhar Das's body. Gadadhar Das's glories were well known among Lord Chaitanya's associates. Fearing that they would at once lose their caste status, the pious people would not come near even the breeze that blew by the Qazi. He was really fierce. People wouldn't even come near his breeze. They thought that if they once saw the violent Qazi, their caste status would be lost. That they would, they believed actually back then the way they were converting the Hindus to Islam was by they would drink water and their jhuta water, right? The water that they took, so whatever is remaining in the cup glass, they would sprinkle it on the bodies of the Hindus. Now, having touched the water of the Muslims, they would lose their caste. Lose their caste means that's how the smarta brahmanas, right? Like they would say, now you're not part of our community anymore. You're because you touched you touch their food or you touch them or you touch their water. Now you don't have. So they don't have any stand now. They are not, they've been uh, ostracized by the Hindu or community, Brahman community. So where do they go? So now they become Muslims. In this way, many uh, Hindus were converted to Islam. So these people, these devotees were so afraid of the Qazi that they didn't even want his shadow to touch them, because they were afraid that they would lose their caste status. They thought that if they once saw, what to speak of touching his shadow, if they even saw, because he was so sinful that even by seeing him, we would lose our caste. To that Qazi, saintly Gadadhar Das gave his glance of mercy. In this way, Gadadhar Das made everyone forget their cruel and violent sins. He made everyone be always intent on chanting Krishna. Fires, snakes, and tiger. Another speciality of Gadadhar Das. So one thing that we always remember when we talk about Gadadhar Das is how he induced the Qazi, right? He went to the Qazi and he said, chant, right? The other thing is, fire, snakes, and tigers have no power to attack a person. Okay, that's another devotee. Sorry. Okay. This is not, but yeah. So in this way, Gadadhar Das made everyone forget their cruel and violent sins. He made everyone be always intent on chanting Krishna. Fires, snakes, and tigers have no power to attack a person in whose body love for Lord Krishna stays. Okay? In that person's body, who has love for Krishna. So in that, or in that person who has love for Krishna in his body, can never be attacked by fires, snakes, or tigers. You don't have to fear fires, snakes, or tigers if you have Krishna Prema. Love for Lord Krishna is always manifested in the gopis. Brahma and the demigods yearn to attain this love. With a glance, Lord Nityananda mercifully gave this love to all his dear companions. So Nityananda Prabhu had that love which the gopis have. So that love he is giving to everyone, to his dear companions. Oh my brothers, please worship Lord Nityananda's feet. By his mercy you will attain Lord Chaitanya's shelter. Yes, by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu only will you get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Then how do you get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu? First you'll get Nityananda Prabhu by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, you get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just like Guru Krishna Kripai Pai Bhakti Lata Bij, right? So first of all, how do you get Guru? By Krishna's mercy. And then by Guru's instructions, by following his instructions, you get Krishna. Oh my brothers, please worship Lord Nityananda's feet. By his mercy, you will attain Lord Chaitanya's shelter. Yeah, worship Nityananda's feet. By his mercy, you'll attain Lord Chaitanya's shelter. After some days in his heart, Lord Nityananda desired to see Mother Sachi. So he's there in Bengal. He came to Panihati Gram. He went to Gadadhar Das's home. Now he desired to see Mother Sachi. Accompanied by his associates, he began a glorious journey to Navadvip. Thus, thus the Lord came to the temple home of Purandar Pandit. Okay, another devotee. Now Nityananda Prem. So he's headed towards Navadvip, and on the way he came to the temple home of Purandar Pandit in the village of Khadadaha Gram. Which place is this? Khadadaha. Khadadaha. I have no power to describe how Lord Nityananda danced when he came to Khadadaha Gram. Now become like a wild man, Purandar Pandit climbed a tree and roared like a lion. External consciousness no longer present in his body. Chaitanya Das, so another devotee. Purandar Pandit, then Chaitanya Das. External consciousness no longer present in his body. Chaitanya Das would run like a tiger into the jungle. So this is the devotee I was thinking of. He would run like a tiger into the jungle. There he would jump on the tiger's backs. Yes, this devotee. Not Gadadhar Das, that was Chaitanya Das. He would go into the jungle and he would jump on the tiger's backs. By Lord Krishna's mercy, the tigers had no power to attack him. Cheerfully and fearlessly, he would sit down with a python in his lap. He played with tigers. All this happened by the great Avadhuta Nityananda's mercy. Lord Nityananda is very affectionate to his servants. With a glance, he allows them to taste the spiritual nectar even Brahma and the demigods cannot see. Completely forgetting himself, Chaitanya Das always spoke whatever was in his joyful heart. Once he stayed underwater for 2 or 3 days without any pain or discomfort in his body. Sometimes he would be stunned and motionless. Other times he would be ferocious like a tiger. I have no power to describe the symptoms of devotional ecstasy Chaitanya Das displayed. They are all endless. Anyone who touches even the breeze that blows by Sri Chaitanya Das or by Murari Gupta will attain Lord Krishna. That is certain. Actually, we read about this devotee. This is this is not Murari Gupta from Navadvip. This is another Murari. We read this in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that he was actually, when he was a boy, he died. I don't know how he died, by a snake bite or something. Uh, and then, because he was a child, I think they didn't cremate his body, they just put his body in the Ganga. And this devotee, one, a great devotee, yeah, anyway, I'm kind of forgetting, but there's two here. One is Murari and one is Chaitanya Das. One of them is Guru. I forget if it is Murari who is the Guru or Chaitanya Das who is Guru. But the story is like this, that uh, uh, so this boy, right, dead body of this boy was floating, and this other devotee uh, wouldn't give anyone initiation. Although he was a great Mahabhagavat devotee, he wouldn't initiate anyone. And then he was instructed that by the Lord that you must give initiation. So he said, all right, tomorrow the first person that I see, I'm going to initiate. So in the morning he went to the Ganga to take bath, and he sees this dead body of this boy coming. So he goes and chants mantra into the ear of this boy, the dead body, and the boy comes back to life. So that boy who was initiated by this devotee, he became a great Vaishnava. And then when he came back to life, his parents were very happy, and they wanted him back. He said, "Who are you?" He said, "This, your boy, your son is dead, right? This life is given. This life belongs to my guru. He gave me this life." So, so I don't know if it is Murari. I think the boy is Murari, but yeah, maybe I'll refer to that and tell you again. So that's why it's not Murari Gupta that we know of in Navadvip. No, this is different. Okay, anyone who touches even the breeze so the characteristic feature of Chaitanya Das is he was so fearless, and he would just be with tigers, and it is that boy, right? So I think Chaitanya Das is the boy, and the person who initiated is Murari. But yeah, he would be with tigers and pythons, and uh, anyone who touches even the breeze that blows by Sri Chaitanya Das or by Murari Gupta, by Murari, will attain Lord Krishna. That is certain. So they are such exalted devotees. Even if one touches the breeze that blows by Sri Chaitanya Das or by Murari, he attains Lord Krishna. Some people who call themselves by the name Chaitanya Das, servant of Lord Chaitanya, never, even in their dreams, chant Lord Chaitanya's glories, right? Simply by keeping the name Chaitanya Das, you don't become an actual servant of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Das means you're always singing the glories of Lord Chaitanya, right? But some people who call themselves Chaitanya Das, what to speak of in reality, even in dreams, they don't chant Lord Chaitanya's glories. Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the master of life for Advaita Acharya. It is by Lord Chaitanya's mercy and by devotion to Lord Chaitanya that Advaita Acharya has become glorious in truth. Okay, so now we are reading about Advaita Acharya. Okay, Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the master of life of Advaita Acharya, and it is by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy and by the devotion to Lord Chaitanya that Advaita Acharya has become glorious in truth. Glory, glory to Advaita Acharya's devotion to Lord Chaitanya. By Lord Chaitanya's mercy, Advaita Acharya has attained all power. Truly, saintly people say Advaita Acharya is glorious because of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Other people think this idea is an offense to Advaita Acharya. So, uh, saintly people think that why is Advaita Acharya so glorious? Because he is a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he received the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even Advaita Acharya feels very happy if you glorify him like that. But other people think, how you can say like that? He's also, right, the Supreme Lord. It is an offense to say that about Advaita Acharya. Though they may call themselves by the name Chaitanya Das, these people are worthless. So about Advaita Acharya's followers, again, when we were reading about the Advaita tree, not Advaita tree, branch of Advaita, there we read, or when we were reading about Advaita Acharya, there we read that he had sons, right? Three of them were devotees, but the others were not devotees. So then, even in his followers, those who call themselves the devotees of Advaita Acharya, but they don't care for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya, even though these people call themselves devotees of Advaita Acharya, he himself will destroy them. He will destroy them if one does not worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is why here Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, though they may call themselves by the name Chaitanya Das, these people are worthless like a pile of ashes. How can sinners like them take shelter of Advaita Acharya? Right? Which people who say that it is an offense to say that Advaita Acharya is glorious because of receiving mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? People who say like this, they are worthless like a pile of ashes. How will they ever get shelter of Advaita Acharya? They think they are glorifying Advaita Acharya. No, they are not. They will never get the mercy of Advaita Acharya. These sinners may call themselves followers of Advaita Acharya, but they do not know what is truly in Advaita Acharya's heart. A cannibal may call himself by the name Punyajana. Cannibal is who? One who eats his own species, right? A human being eating other humans, or a snake eating its own, other snakes, let's say. That's a cannibal. So a cannibal may call himself by the name Punyajana. Let's say he's a human being and he's used to eating other people, but he calls himself a sadhu. As a cannibal calls himself a saint, so these people call themselves Chaitanya Das, servants of Lord Chaitanya. You can call yourself whatever, but that doesn't mean you are that, right? You can say, on one hand, you're eating other people, you're a cannibal, and then you say, I am a saintly person. Your activities don't match with what you call yourself. Similarly, those who call themselves servants of Chaitanya, but they say, no, it's an offense to Advaita Acharya to say that Advaita Acharya is glorious because of receiving the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So their activities, what they are saying and their philosophy does not match with their name, servant of Chaitanya. It does not match. So to explain that, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says, a cannibal may call himself a saint. Similarly, these people call themselves Chaitanya Das, servants of Lord Chaitanya. After staying for some days in Khadadaha. So where did all this happen? Chaitanya Das, right? Pastime, uh, going on tigers and all that. This happened in Khadadaha. Nityananda Prabhu stayed for some days in Khadadaha. We were reading about Gadadhar Das, right? And from there, Nityananda Prabhu went to Khadadaha, and in Khadadaha, he went to the house of Purandar Pandit, and then also We were reading about Chaitanya Das. Okay, so all this is in Khadadaha. We just read about the glories of Chaitanya Das. And then Nityananda Prabhu wanted to go to Navadvip, so now we are reading about Advaita Acharya. Okay, and those who call themselves Chaitanya Das, but they are not actually Chaitanya Das. That also we read. After staying for some days in Khadadaha Gram, Lord Nityananda and his associates went to Saptagram. Saptagram is which place? Adi Saptagram is Raghunath Das Goswami's place. In Saptagram is the place of the seven sages. Throughout the universe, this place is known as Triveni Ghat, the place where three rivers meet. In ancient times, the seven sages performed austerities in this ghat by the Ganga. There they attained Lord Krishna's feet. Three goddesses, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, met at that place. What is this place? Triveni Ghat. Okay. Saptagram is there on the Triveni Ghat. So, three goddesses, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati, met at that place. That is why this place is famous in the three worlds as Triveni, three rivers. By seeing this holy place, one destroys all his sins. Accompanied by his associates, Lord Nityananda joyfully bathed at this ghat. So Nityananda Prabhu from Khadadaha came to Saptagram, which is on the banks of this Triveni Ghat. So Nityananda Prabhu went and bathed in the Triveni Ghat. If even any person simply sees that place, then he destroys all his sins. Now on the bank at this place where three rivers meet, Lord Nityananda stayed at the home of fortunate Uddharana Datta. Okay, so Saptagram means we are talking about Uddharana Datta. Uddharana Datta. Okay. With his body, mind, and words, Uddharana Datta sincerely worshipped Lord Nityananda's feet. Uddharana Datta became qualified to serve Lord Nityananda directly. What greater good fortune can anyone attain, right? Nityananda Prabhu is in his house and he's getting to serve Nityananda Prabhu directly, and he's a great devotee of Nityananda Prabhu. Day and night, his body, mind, and words are completely dedicated to the sincere worship of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's feet. Birth after birth, Lord Nityananda is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Birth after birth, Uddharana Datta is his servant. Because of Uddharana Datta, so Uddharana Datta belonged to a merchant family. So that whole village of Saptagram was filled with merchants. We read about this also when we read about the tree, Nityananda Prabhu's associates. So we read about Uddharan Datta there in Adi Lila. So because of Uddharan Datta, all the merchants there became purified. Of this there is no doubt. Lord Nityananda went there to deliver the merchants. He made those merchants qualified to attain ecstatic love and devotion. Going from house to house among the merchants there, Lord Nityananda enjoyed pastimes of kirtan. All the merchants took shelter of Lord Nityananda's feet and worshipped them in every way. Seeing how the merchants were worshipping Lord Krishna, everyone in the world felt wonder in his heart. So they were just merchants, businessmen. They were not, brahmanas or pujaris or, Vaishnavas. But by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, right? Nityananda Prabhu visited all their homes. Seeing how the merchants were worshipping Lord Krishna, everyone in the world felt wonder in his heart. Lord Nityananda's mercy is an ocean that has no shore. He delivered all those foolish, lowly merchants. Accompanied by his associates, Lord Nityananda enjoyed pastimes of Sankirtan at Saptagram. Even if he had 100 years to do it, no one could describe all the Sankirtan pastimes of Lord Nityananda. No, we won't be able to finish it today. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. We'll continue tomorrow. Manchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.